You head up to Toronto, obviously, just a little bit. So, just thoughts on the final practice here before leaving.
Yeah, we're excited. It was, our group faced a lot of adversity this year with, call ups, injuries. We had 9 players on our roster that this was their first full season in the American League. And I think this year really hardened our group, and I think we're prepared. I mean, we, played in pretty much a game 7, our last game of the year, and the guys showed a lot of emotion, a lot of character from the group to find a way to get in, and really proud of the team. And now, you're excited. You get in, everybody's record is the same when you start the playoffs. However you got there, you got in, and now it's our job to, just enjoy the moment too. A lot of guys, haven't, gone through this experience. So I think it's important to enjoy it as well. And then, watch the Sabres game tonight and enjoy that. Hopefully they find a way to get another win and go from there and just be ready to go when the puck drops.
The way that you guys got in, obviously, to the last game of the regular season, you don't really have a cool down period there to be able to kind of, soak it all in. So, how has your guys' mentality been with that?
I think it's good for us. I think if you look at the process of our game the last 2 months of this season has been really good, regardless of what our record says it was. We've been playing really good hockey against really good teams. We've become a really a solid defensive team, focusing on our net first, and we've been doing a really good job of, our game that we have to be successful, forechecking, keeping pucks below the goal line and really grinding teams down. And I think the guys are ready. The guys are excited, and we're excited for the opportunity to keep playing hockey.
With the way that the last few games of the regular season went, you maybe say that you don't have the momentum going into the playoffs with some of those losses. How do you keep the morale up just as you approach these next few games?
I think the morale's great. Like if you would have, the bench, it was like we won a playoff round, or the emotion that went into it. And, it's been a hard year. Like there's, we have 10 guys on a roster that weren't on our team at the start of the year. And that's really difficult to do. And we had guys step up, and guys, sacrifice a lot for the team. And you look at the last game we played, we had 23 shots in the first period. Like that's a group that is, they showed a lot, and they have all season. And like I said, I'm really proud of this group. There's been 2 games out of 72. One of the games was in, Wilkes-Barre that we got blown out. So for 70 games, we were in 70 games this year. Like that's really hard to do. You got to have a really competitive, selfless group that cares about each other a lot. And I think that's the reason why we got in. And now, like I said, the record, everybody's record is 0-0. You hold the pen on what your postseason is. And I think this year really hardened our group. And when we go into game 1, I don't think there'll be any nerves, because we basically played, like I said, in a game 7. And, the emotion that went into that game, I think it's going to prepare us for what's next.
And you've been in this position before, obviously last year heading into the playoffs. What is the message this year? Maybe anything different now that you kind of faced a little more adversity?
I just think it's just different. I think it's kind of like an underdog mentality, Like this year is, different than last year. Different group, different players. I think, there's probably a lot of people that don't pick us to win the series, and that's great. Like I believe in this group. I believe in the team, and when we play the right way and we have good habits and details, like we've beaten Charlotte this year. We had a winning record against Syracuse. Like we've played Laval really hard this year. Like we've played a lot of really good hockey. And I'm just excited to watch the group compete tomorrow night.
Is there anything that you've learned about your group this regular season that has an impact on how you maybe coach them or look at this playoff?
I honestly, probably more than any other group that I've coached, I'm probably more proud of this group than any other team. Like, I really mean that. We've changed a few things. Like, as a coach, you have to coach the team that you have. And then this year, I think our Vinny Pacer did an incredible job this year also on special teams. You know, you look at our power play and penalty kill to get us into this position had to be really good, and you have to coach the team that you have. So when we lost those guys, you have to reevaluate as a coach of what is going to give our team the best chance to be successful. So we changed a few things that more of the strengths of this group, and I think it really helped the team. And anything that we've done this year, whether it was a change or, you know, we practice extremely hard, like really hard, and our guys have showed up every day trying to get better. And I think we're a lot better hockey team than we were at the start of the year. And in our, you know, you look at some of the players like, you know, Kuntar, he had 21 goals this year. He didn't have 21 goals in his career. And he played on that Providence team, he didn't play. Fiedler Schultz had never played center before pro hockey. It's his second year. You know, played second line center for us, had 22 goals. Nadeau, first year player in the league, was on our first power play unit, had 12 goals. You know, look at the D-Corps, Noah Lau and Belly and Fulper were on our depth chart probably 8, 9, 10. They've played almost 40 games for us. They've been incredible. Like, just guys, it just, for me, it's more of a coach is my belief system. What I believe in is if you have good habits, good details, selfless, you care about each other, you have a chance. And that's what we did. And there's a lot of belief in the room.
When you look at, this will be the last one for me, when you look at a best of 3 series, you know, maybe you can say there's less time to make adjustments, less time to make mistakes. What kind of tone do you want to set in game 1? What kind of message do you want to send?
It's a good question. It's a little different in the series. Like, you know, you could run into a hot goalie and win you 2 games and you can get outplayed. I think it's just making sure that we have emotion in the game and that we're physically and mentally engaged. Like, you don't have time to, you know, find. But before in series, for instance, we played Laval in that, you know, the North Division final last year, game 1. In a best of 5 or best of 7, you can kind of find it throughout the series. In this game, you got to be ready to go right off the drop of the puck. You know, game 1s are really important, kind of set the tone. We're going on the road. We've been a good road hockey team since I've been the coach here, and our guys have to know how to play in that. We have to bring the same mentality as we had when we played in Hershey on Sunday.